So the next concept is CodeIgniter URL. In previous session, we set up the CodeIgniter, right? We set up the CodeIgniter. So, and we executed, and now also I executed. We got the welcome screen, something like this, localhost news, something, we got it, right? I think you also did the same, I'm expecting from you guys. But now, before going to do, before going to work with our CodeIgniter controllers or models and libraries or views, whatever it may be, first we have to talk about CodeIgniter URLs. Do you know the types of URLs, guys? Types of URLs. How many types of URLs are there? Generally, we have two types of URLs, guys. One is query string based URLs. I will tell you query string based URLs, and one more is segment based URLs. Segment based URLs. Which one is good, guys? Which type of URLs we have to use for our application development, for our website, and whatever it may be? Remember carefully. Always segment-based URLs are encouraged in your web application, guys. Segment-based URLs are helps you a lot to improve the search engine friendly. So for SEO, guys, do you heard about maybe SEO, search engine friendly, search engine optimization? If you want to make a search engine optimization for a website, segment-based URLs are the best choice. What is a query string based URL? So for example, we have a domain something like this, http://example.com, okay, slash h.php, c, question mark, something will be there in the question mark, id equal to 1 and the name equal to rom, something like this, right? If you can able to see this kind of approach, this is called query string based URL. Then what is the segment based URL? You know, can you see, guys, the same URL I'm rewriting again in form of segment based, same example.com slash text slash 1 slash rom. Did you see what is this exactly? Everything is a segment. Do you see whatever the things we are keeping here? This is called segment, right? If you can see how many segments are there, guys, this is the segment 1, okay, this is the segment 2, and this is segment 3, and this is segment 4, something like this. So each and everything, if you can keep something into slashes, that is called a segment. But segment based URLs always search engine friendly URLs. We can generate clean and neat search engine friendly URLs. But if you want to do SEO kind of stuff, but query string based URLs are not recommended, guys. Actually, maximum of the websites you can see, if you can go to any website, you can see most search engine friendly URLs only. For example, you can go to our gophp.in, our website. I'm going there. Go php. Okay, let us set this. Let me go to gophp.in. So this is the website we have, right? Okay, now I'm going here. Can you see this website URLs, guys? All are search engine friendly. So for example, course inquiry, if I click this, there is something called inquiry. Did you see there is any query string or such a manner? I mean, question mark and all, nothing is there. So now I have interview questions. I have CodeIgniter for interview questions. I'm going to click on it. Can you see CodeIgniter for interview questions? This is all called query string based or segment based. This is segment based Drupal 8 development. I'm going there. Can you see here? Go php.in Drupal 8 development. Right, such a manner we are getting, right? So if you want downloads or if you want about us and UI UX designing, so what exactly this is? Can you see everything is changing now, right? They are all changing, guys. For example, how to set the remains something is there. Can you see it is called segment based URL approach. This type of URLs are always called search engine friendly URLs. If you can go to Google search, for example, I'm going to Google, try to see here. I'm going to search for welcome. See my URL, guys, here. Where are you right now? You are in the Google. By hitting welcome search, now can you see if you can copy this URL, it generates the search engine friendly URL. Can you see the URL will be look like this? This is Google URL. Question mark. Do you see the question mark? Question mark, something like this, key equal to value, key equal to value, and key equal. This was created something like this. Each and every page separated with n symbol. Did you see? This is how. Okay, we don't want all the things, guys. All are not required. Just for our understanding, I'm showing you here exactly. So what is this? Search engine friendly. Remaining all I'm removing. No problem. Just try to understand. So what type of URL this is, right? This is called query string based URL. If the URL is query string based, so it is not recommended for SEO. Sir, then Google is using search engine friendly, right? I mean, Google is using query string based, na? Then what about SEO for Google? For Google, we don't need SEO. Why? Because in Google only we are searching for everything, na? So that for Google, for our website, we need SEO. For Google, don't need SEO because this is one of the top website in the world and maximum of the people will use this website daily, guys. So we don't need any kind of SEO for Google. So to display our website in Google search results, we have to display. See, I'm searching, guys, here, CodeIgniter for training, CodeIgniter for training. I'm typing. Can you see we are getting different websites now? Go php.in, go php.in, udemy.com. Such a websites you are getting, guys, here actually. You're getting. So where is your website? Oh, my website is on the top of, guys. Go php.in. I'm getting on the top of the page. Okay, very happy for this. Seriously, I want to tell you guys. So this is called search engine friendly. Completely, we can say search engine friendly URLs. How these things are going to be work as a search engine friendly? This is all about the thing, guys. Remember carefully. In Google search results, so many people will search for different content, right? Whatever the URLs you are displaying here, those URLs should be search engine friendly. If they are search engine friendly, then only it is easy. I mean, search engines will always read your websites very easy and very faster. That's the thing, guys, you have to remember. Okay, fine. So to generate such a kind of clean URLs, we can use CodeIgniter, right? What CodeIgniter will support? CodeIgniter will always support a clean URLs for search engine friendly. So I don't want to say go to user guide. So this is our user guide now. Here in the welcome page, here we have user guide link, guys. By just clicking this user guide link and you can go to the now you are in the user guide. Can you see in the general topics? Click on general topics. The first concept is CodeIgniter URLs. Click on the CodeIgniter URLs. Can you see now? The first point, if you can read, if you can able to read the first point, what they are saying, can you see? By default, URLs in CodeIgniter are designed to be search engine and human friendly rather than using query string approach, right? URLs synonymous with dynamic systems. CodeIgniter uses segment-based URLs. Don't worry about the point. The first point, by default, so CodeIgniter are designed to be search engine friendly URLs and CodeIgniter uses segment-based approach. What is the meaning of segment-based? This is your URL after something, after your article, and after my article. What is this exactly? This is also called search engine friendly URL, guys. Can you see? Exactly, this is search engine friendly URLs. How many segments are there? Segment 1. Actually, this we cannot call it as a segment 1. Actually, from news we can call segment 1. This is segment 2 and this is segment 3 because news is the domain, right? Domain could not be considered as a segment. And after that domain, first slash, this is one segment, and second segment is article, and third segment is my article, something like this we have to consider. But remember, in this URL, right, whatever the URL you are able to see, right, let me open through Paint. Actually, I have to explain you a clear idea about the URL and its structure. Now, if we can go to here, this is the URL I have with me. Okay, I'll have to try to see. So let me have some font size here. You needs to understand, guys, what exactly the URL is, how the URL will be worked and all. You have to check it. This is the thing, guys. Try to see what we can call this. This is called your domain, guys, right? So domain means you may have anything like example.com or php.in or some pqrs.com, such a manner you may have anything. So what is this exactly? You know, this is called domain. Okay, .com, .in, right? So .info, .org, all are called domains, guys. Now, so the first thing here I'm talking about, so up to here the selected region, remember carefully, whatever the thing I selected, the selected region is called as domain. So this entire region is called as domain, guys. After that domain, what is the next thing we have? So all of you try to see. This next thing is called segment 1. What we can call it as segment 1. So this is segment 2. This is segment 3. So like this people will call. So if you can see this here, what I want to tell you, what is a segment 1, right? So we have 3 segments. I mean, segment means it was in slash and slash, guys. Segment 2. This is the segment 3. We have 3 segments are there, guys, here. So what is segment 1? Segment 1 is news. Okay, this is segment 1 is news. Segment 2 is article, something like this, article, and segment 3 is my article. This is what exactly we have there now, my underscore article. This is what exactly. As per our terminology, these are called segment 1, segment 2. Like this, we have n number of segments, segment 4, segment 5, segment 6. Like this, we may have n number of segments, guys, here. So we don't have any limitation in the segments. In URL, you can give any number of segments. Right now, sometimes you may have one segment. Right now, we went to gophp.in, guys. How many segments you are able to see here? You are able to see just only one about us. How many segments are there in the about us, guys? Only one segment. There may be 2 segments, there may be 20 segments, there may be 1 segment, 2 segments. Like this, we may have a number of segments based on our requirement. That is completely right. So this is segment based URL approach I told you. Segment 1 news. Generally, programmatically, if we can talk, the first segment, whatever the segment you are able to see, the first segment is always called as controller. Remember carefully. What is a controller? We will talk about, right? So controller is nothing but a class. Simply, it's a class. What is a controller in our PHP? That we will see later. The first segment, whatever the thing you are able to see in the first segment, that is always called controller. Why controller? Tell me, please. In MVC architecture diagram, I told you when we are sending a request to browser, first the request who is receiving, guys? Controller. Na? So the name of the controller you have to mention into the first segment. The second thing, guys, if you can go to the second point here, what is the second one? You know, this second one is the method or function, guys. It could be a method or function. Remember carefully, method or function. You can take anything, method or function, guys. This is going to be a method or function. So what is a controller? Class. What is second thing? It is the article is a method. So I mean, in a class controller, we have a method. And what is this third one is, you know, third one is a parameter to that method, guys. I will show you practically. Wait for a minute. So what is this is called, you know, this is called parameter to the method. So we have to pass parameters to the methods also. Na? This is a parameter to the method. Try to observe this URL. What exactly we did. We have an URL. So we are talking about URLs. For better understanding of our CI3, first we have to talk about this concept only. So we have 2 types of URLs, segment-based URLs and coroutine-based URLs. We don't want to encourage coroutine-based URLs. We need to go always with a segment-based approach. In the segment-based approach, the first portion is the domain, the second portion is the name of the controller, third portion is the method, and the fourth portion is the parameter. I mean, if you can create a class, for example, if you are creating a class, let us show you how we are going to create a class, guys. I'm going to create a class. What is our class name? News is a class name. Try to see. As per the URL architecture, I'm creating this, guys. What is the name of the class? This is the name of the class. And inside we have a method. What is a method? You know, function article. Article is a function, guys. So this is what exactly the method. We can write some logic inside of it, guys, actually. So here, what you can do, 1 minute. Let me move this aside here a little bit. Right. Was it not? Sorry, let me write it one more time, or else let me write here class. As per the diagram, class. What is the name of the class? News is the name of the class. Here, we can write one function. What is the name of the function? Article is the name of the function, guys. Article, article, right? Article, article. So article is a function and it has a parameter. What is the parameter it has? My article. Remember carefully. What is I'm passing here? Exactly this is. Here we will write some logic. Whatever it may be, some logic will be go here. This is called our architecture. For example, I'm going to create one more function here, guys. Function test. Okay, this is my function test. Here we can write some logic. No? Some logic will go here. Okay. Now you can check this. All of you try to see. Here I am copying these guys into the paint diagram. Okay, let us go there. Let us keep this here. Right? Can you see my class, guys? Here there is a function. Right? Try to see. This is the function we have. This is the function my article, and I have another function called test, guys. Another function called tester. So in a class, we have a method called article. So that's why we call something like this. We have another method now. Can you please tell me how can I call the test method? So if it is the same case, example.com slash, what is the name of the controller? News. Inside we have the second method. What is the second method? Test, guys. We have to call, we have to enter, like this the things will be executed. So if a test method is having any parameter, it doesn't have any parameter, but you can see the first thing. What is the first thing, guys? Here the same example.com first method, example.com slash news is a controller slash, so there is a method called article, article, article slash, what is the parameter inside of it? Definitely the parameter also should be passed as a segment, my underscore article, article, my article, something like this, guys. Did you see? This is the our CodeIgniter for URL structure. Always remember, first segment. What is the first segment? You are able to see always this is the name of the controller class. Second segment is always the method available in the class. What is the news? News is a class here. Inside the class, article is a method. For that article, it's a parameter. Now I'm writing one more situation, guys. Try to understand this. Now I'm going to create one more function, guys. Function do some, do some, do something. I written a function called do something. Okay, this is my function. So in this function, I'm passing two parameters, hi, or else you can take some name, or else you can take some variable, whatever it may be, x, comma, y, something you can pass. Okay, you pass two parameters now. So you are going to do something here, do something. Then how this method will be called? So we call this method, for example, test method. If it is a local computer, we have to do http localhost slash, what is our name of the controller? News. What is the function? Test. Test method will be called like this. Hit enter, you will get the output. We have another method. What is the first method we have, guys? My article. No? So there is a method called article slash my underscore article. My underscore article. The second thing, it is very important, remember carefully, the do something method is there now. So how we can call this method do something method? So this is very important, try to see. So it has two parameters now, right? So it is going to be do something method. So in this method, we have to pass two parameters, guys, 10/20. What is the meaning of it, you know, guys? Here you are passing two parameters. See, the first segment. What is the first segment? Name of the class. Second segment is the name of the method. From third segment onwards, you may have n number of values, 40, 50, 60, and something called test, and you can call something called welcome, and whatever it may be, guys. Remember carefully, I'm talking about this. The first segment is called controller. The second segment is called the method of the controller, and remaining all the segments are passed as parameter to your parameter to your method, guys. All 10, 20, 40, 5, 60 test welcome. We have almost all 6 to 7 parameters. All are passed as a parameter to do something method. Right? So this is how the CodeIgniter URLs will work, guys. Right? Exactly. Remember this carefully. This CodeIgniter URLs will help you a lot. Based on the URLs only, you will understand. Now, can you tell me? Now I am going to create one more class, guys. Right? One more class I'm creating. Just you can try to understand as per CodeIgniter way. So I'm creating a class called employee. This employee class, where we have to save, generally we are creating a controller class. Generally where the controllers will be saved always, controllers will be always saved in the controllers folder. I'm not saving anywhere right now. I'm creating one function, guys. Function add employee. This is a function. Okay, this is a function. I'm creating one more function view employee. EMPLOYE employee. If you can understand CodeIgniter URLs, right? CodeIgniter URL architecture, can you tell me how can I call this add employee method in the browser? So in the local computer we are, so that http //localhost slash name of the controller. What is the name of the controller? Nothing but name of the class is nothing but employee. Try to see employee slash the method of the class. What is the method? This is how we can call one method. If you want to call the second method, what is the second method we have? View employee, na? The same http // this is going to be localhost slash employee is the controller, right? So what is the next method we have here? View employee. So this is how we can call the controller methods, guys. You may have 10 methods now. You have to generate 10 URLs. Class is one, but by using that class, we can generate 10 URLs if we have 10 methods in the thing, right? So for example, now I'm creating one more method. Try to see here. All of you try to see how we can call function edit employee. If you want to edit employee, definitely you need some ID, na? $ID. I'm passing a parameter to it. Based on the ID, we have to edit employee. See, first two methods, there is no parameters, but the third method had a parameter called ID. So then how we can call the third method, can you see how we can call http:// localhost, right? Here, what is the method there? Edit employee, right? To this slash, we have to pass the number, guys. Some 100 I'm passing. What is the meaning of it? So the first is the controller. First segment is the controller. What is the second segment? Is the method. And the third segment is the parameter to edit employee method. I mean, in this ID, the 100 will be saved, guys. For example, if you can print echo $ID, definitely you will get 100 here. That is the meaning of it. If you want to pass a parameter to method, we have to pass to URL as a third segment onwards. See, what is I told you as per URL architecture, the first segment is the name of the class. Second segment is the method, must and should. Second segment is the always method. First segment is always controller, guys. That won't change. That will never change. The first segment is always the name of the controller class. Second segment is always the method available in the controller class. From the third segment onwards, this is going to be a parameter, guys. For example, you are giving one more thing, something called wrong. So how many parameters you passed? So you passed 2 parameters here to the employer. Then I have to get the name also, $name. So then if we can print the $name here, so what is going to happen? ROM will be printed here. This is how we can pass the data to URL parameters. For example, if you want to pass one more thing called /HYD, I'm passing one more parameter HYD. Then third parameter will become there. Based on the parameters will be increased something like this. This is what city. Now, if we can go echo $city, if we can print whatever the value you have in the URL, that value will be printed here. So this is how the CodeIgniter URLs will work. Guys, this is very important. You have to understand a CodeIgniter URLs, search engine friendly URLs. But unfortunately, in our CodeIgniter, in URLs, actually index.php will be appended. Actually, initially how we have to call, 1 minute, the same URL, if you can create an employee class, the same URL you have to class something like this, guys. Actually, it won't work otherwise, right? So we added in the middle of it, we have to add index.php / this is how we have to call actually. But if you can add index.php in the URL, that is not search engine friendly. So it is not segment based. It's not look like a segment based URL approach. I have to remove this segment base. I have to remove this index.php from URL. In interview also, there is one question. How can we remove index.php from an URL in CodeIgniter? So by default, index.php will be there in the URL. We have to remove it to generate search engine friendly URLs, guys. For this, they will give you small HT access rule, server side configuration rule they will give us. So if you can read this manual so that you will understand. Can you see? Querying URLs can be optionally enabled. If you want, you can work with querying URLs. URI segments, they're talking about segments, URI segments. So do you know, guys, actually, generally we have URL. What is URL and what is URI? Anybody know? What is URL and what is URI? So can you see, this is the URL I'm taking you. Let me come to Paint and let me explain you what exactly URL, what exactly URI, guys. Here, I'm taking this 1 minute. Let us have some Paint here. Right. So can you see, this is the URL I have with me, right, guys? If you can consider this, 1 minute, let me add a line here. I'm having some line. So this is all what we can call, guys. This is all called URL. Okay, this is all called URL. Let us show you what exactly URL, what exactly URL. This is all called URL. Again, in this URL, so or else you can take something called example.com or something like that. So here you have example.com, or you can take this also, no problem, right? Here, if you can consider, this is all called URL. Okay, URL. So URL is containing everything. So whatever you are able to see, that contain everything, guys. Now what I want to say here, this is all called URL. Again, this URL, what is we can call this, guys? Up to here, we can call this as a domain. This is called domain. Okay, up to here, top level domain, example.com, example.in, or gophp.in, or info.info, .net, .org, all are comes under domains. After that remaining portion, so what we can call, guys, this we can call it as a domain, and the remaining portion can be called as, can anybody tell me what is the remaining portion can be called? These are called URI segments. These are all called URI. URL contain URI. So a URL contains URI. This is called URI string. People will also call it as a URI. It is a part of URL only. So after the main domain, the remaining portion, what is the main domain? Example.com is the main domain. Of the remaining portion is called URI segments. If you can see, here they mentioned one word, URI segments. URI segments. Can you see? Here they're explaining you very clearly the segment in the URL in the following with the model view controller approach usually represents. Okay, don't worry. Example.com is our domain. This is class and this is function and this is ID. That's what I explained to you in the diagram also, guys. Can you see? This is the controller class and this is the method and this is the parameter to the thing, guys. This is what I explained. But here they mentioned it as a class, but I'm mentioning it as a controller. You can call anything. See, in the URL, we will always define the first segment as a controller class only. Controller itself, what is a controller? It's a class file. So that is what exactly they are saying here. Example.com, class, function, and ID. Read this manual, 3 points if you can read, take some time and read it. The first segment represents the controller class. The second segment represents the class function. The third and any additional segment represents the ID and any variables that we pass to the controller methods, guys. This is what they are saying, that from third and remaining, all segments are passed as parameter to our function, right? What is a function? Second segment. What is the thing? This is what we have to do. In the same manner, what we created here, guys, if we can see this architecture and go to your file, we created employee class. Where is the employee class example? This is employee class example. Where is this? Yeah, here we have employee class. By seeing this, can you say my URL? So this is our architecture. So first, your domain, we are in the local server, so in place of it we have to write localhost, right? Let me write this as a http://localhost. What is the name of the class, guys? My name of the class is going to be employee. What is the function of the class there? What is the function you want to call? View employee or edit employee. So you can call edit employee. Yes, you can call edit employee. And ID is the number you want to edit, guys. This is the, if you are creating a class, the class should be executed, the class should be executed. If you want to execute any class, we have to call the class something like this. But in object-oriented PHP basics, we seen how can we create a class? And what is a class? What a class can contain? A class contains collection of methods and properties. If you want to access those properties and methods, we have to create object. In CodeIgniter, we don't want to need to create an object, guys. That will get called automatically. When you are triggering the controller class here, that internally we create the object instance of the class, and we don't want to instantiate an object in our CodeIgniter. That will be taken care internally by the framework. We don't want required. We don't want to create a class at any, we don't want to create an object for a class at any cost. That's not required also. That will gets called automatically by the framework internally. So we don't want to just call the method. That's enough, guys. It will work automatically, right? So this is how the CodeIgniter URLs will be work for us, guys. Right. The next thing, if you can see, gone through the manual one more time. So can you see here what is they are saying, that by default index.php will be included in URLs. By default index.php, we have to remove it. Actually, whatever the URLs I generated here, there is no index.php here. I removed, right? Actually, we have to index.php. In the next session, I will show you how to create a controller and how to call the controller with index.php, without index.php. But in real time, we will always use without index.php only. If index.php is there in the URL, that is not search engine friendly. That's not looks good. For example, here I have a website with me, which is created in CodeIgniter, guys. So 1 minute, let me show you CodeIgniter. Sorry. This is a website, enadu.net. This is a Telugu news website. This website was created in CodeIgniter. So can you see here, if I click this and you can see, it will show you the Webalizer tool. By using the Webalizer tool, we can understand on which technology this website was created. right? So here is something. So they will give you the information on which technology is there. So can you see what is this, guys? Exactly, this was created by using CodeIgniter, right? CodeIgniter framework they used, and programming languages PHP. And can I see? I'm going to click one article, guys. Here I have some article is there. Can you see my URL? And this is my URL, guys. I'm copying this URL. Can you see this URL is completely search engine friendly URL? But in this URL, can you able to find anywhere index.php? This is domain, right? After domain, are you find anywhere index.php? No, you are not finding anything, guys. This is latest news, and this is what the article, and it may be some ID, and it may be this is maybe some information, guys. These are all called segments. How many segments are there after the top level domain? There are 4 segments are there, guys. Can you see how many segments are there? So 4 segments are there: national, international, latest news, India, Corona, and 700 and some ID. So these many segments are there in the URL. But that website was created in CodeIgniter. Actually, do you know, guys, that enadu.net website earlier it was created in .NET programming language. They suddenly changed the entire the news website into CodeIgniter. Why they changed it? Because of the performance, because of the advantages of the framework, because we can make something called search engine friendly. Due to this reason, they converted that from .NET to PHP. And one more thing, if it is a .NET, guys, we have to spend a lot of time. We have to do a lot of cost, a lot of resources we have to do. Maybe the reason these people stopped with .NET and they converted the website completely into CodeIgniter framework, guys. Right? So the advantage. So here in our manual, what they are saying is actually in the manual, index.php will be available in the URL. If you want, we can remove this by copying this code into your project. I will tell you tomorrow how we can avoid index.php by using this htaccess rules, guys. Right? So this is all about CodeIgniter URLs. So how can we access user guide? Do you know, guys? And all of you saying you already set up now. So if you can already set up the CodeIgniter project, can you go and check this here? What is my project name? News, right? 1 minute. Let me go to my news project. This is my news, right? Here in the news folder, we have already user guide folder. This is the user guide folder. If you want to see the user guide directly from the browser, you can go localhost. What is our folder name? News, right? / user guide. Just you can type user underscore guide, GUID. It will be open the user guide for you. So sorry, spell mistake maybe. News, right? It is spell mistake. New I written, but it is news, right? User guide. Can you see? This is your CodeIgniter user guide. But don't worry, we have a lot of concept. Welcome to CodeIgniter installation instructions. We already seen welcome installation instructions. CodeIgniter overview. If you want, you can click the CodeIgniter overview and getting started. CodeIgniter at a glance. Supported features by the CodeIgniter. Application flowchart. Model view controller. This already explained you. Model view controller. Application flowchart. This is the flowchart they are giving us. But right now you may not understand about this flowchart. Wait for some time. I will explain you about this flowchart later. So, but if I explain you, we may have some little bit confusion about the flowchart. Whatever the MVC diagram I have explained you in the last session, that's enough for you right now. Okay, this is not required, right? Model view controller, MVC, what model represents, what view represents, what controller represents. Right? Don't worry, this tutorial, don't touch this tutorial. This is here, they are giving you some examples for us. Don't require. Go to general topics. Click on general topics, all of you. Here we have the concepts. We are going to discuss these concepts one by one, guys. Okay, CodeIgniter URLs, controllers, and reservoir names, views, models, and helpers. Everything will be discussed one by one. Right? After that, after discussing some concept, then we can go for libraries. Can you see here we have something called libraries and database and helpers. Libraries, all the predefined libraries provided in the framework, all the predefined helpers provided in the framework, and database classes available in the framework. This is what we are going to see in the upcoming sessions, guys. But today I explained you about the CodeIgniter URLs, but they are very, very important. By using URLs and controllers, tomorrow I have to explain you controllers concept, guys. How we can use controllers and URLs combination. So today's session will help you a lot for tomorrow understanding of controllers. So after session completed, please try to watch the video, and I'm uploading the to our thing. If you are not getting the videos, please ask me. I will share you the link in your WhatsApp. I think you needs to send me a message in the WhatsApp. So or else you can send a text message. I can save the numbers of your WhatsApp numbers and I can send you the YouTube links daily to your WhatsApp, guys. So, but without fail, you have to say it. But tomorrow session is very, very important. Everybody needs to attend, right? So controllers, that is heart of PHP. Na? I told you already, without controller, we can do anything. Is that not right? Without controller, we can do anything in our CodeIgniter framework. That's what we are going to discuss about. That may take one session or two sessions, but you have to be in time. And tomorrow is very important, right? Don't miss this session, guys. Very, very important.